Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So today's video is going to be all about paying it forward. In one of our last videos, I introduced you guys to a neighbor that we met through YouTube, and he's got a skid steer, an excavator, and a lot of equipment. And he's offered to help us with some chores here around the property, like regrading some of our trails, widening them out a little bit. And we're gonna take this opportunity to help out one of our other neighbors. Since we have a neighbor helping us, we're gonna go ahead and pay it forward and help out one of our neighbors. One of my buddies who lives just a couple doors down has a couple of logs that he needs lifted up, cut, and split. So we're gonna take the Coyote tractor, the Easton made axis, and go help him split some of that wood up. A lot of it is hickory, and I couldn't imagine trying to bust some of those pieces by hand. Let me show you what we got going on. So we've got the Coyote tractor all set up here, and we've got a new attachment here. This is a ballast box from Titan Attachments. They sent this to us to try out here on the channel, and this is going to solve a lot of our problems. If you saw in our last video, we needed ballast for the back of the tractor, but I wasn't able to fit any of my attachments that would be good ballast in my 7x14 dump trailer. This is going to solve that problem because this is compact ballast. All you have to do is load this thing full of rock, and this thing fully loaded is about 5 cubic feet. It should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 to 600 pounds of ballast, plus we have the rear tires loaded. And the other thing that I really like about this ballast box, it was really well thought out. It's kind of a 2-in-1. It's also going to be a trailer mover. If you see down there, it has a 2-inch hitch receiver that you can go ahead and add a hitch. So this is going to be an all-in-one package we can take down to my buddy's house. We'll have ballast, we'll have the brute force grapple on the front to pick up the logs, and we'll be able to tow the Easton made axis behind the trailer and take everything down in one vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and get this ballast box loaded full of rock, and then we'll go and hook up the Easton made axis and head down to my buddy's house. So if you don't remember, this rock came from our field down there. When I graded it all out and seeded a lawn, I pulled all these rocks out of there and I just set them in a pile here off to the side. This is what we're going to use for ballast. I know you should technically probably use pea gravel to get the most weight as possible, but I think these big rocks are still going to be plenty heavy. All right, so here is the setup at Dillon's with the Coyote tractor and the brute force grapple on the front, and we've got the ballast box on the back. Tell you what, that worked perfect towing the Easton made axis over here. What I've done in the past is I bought a hitch receiver for the front of my pallet forks on the loader, but the only problem with that is your hitch is so far away from your axle that every little bump you do, there's so much leverage there that it'll swing up your hitch 3 feet up in the air and then drop it down 3 feet. So having the hitch closer to your back axle here, you know, that's only probably 5 or 6 feet versus on the front end loader is probably 8 or 9 feet away. It just makes it a lot smoother ride when you're towing something. So that is definitely the way to go. So I wanted to pause this video right here and introduce my buddy Dylan. He's the neighbor that I told you about that lives a couple properties down from me. And you may have seen him in a couple of videos over the past 2 or 3 months. He's been helping me in the background, filming and running chainsaw and stuff like that, running the splitter. You know, when you have a YouTube channel, anytime you take the camera out, it takes probably 3 times as long to get anything done. And with Dylan helping me out, it's probably cutting it down to only taking twice as long. But Dylan actually started a YouTube channel of his own a few months ago, and I wanted to give him an opportunity to tell you about that because he's in the early stages. He needs as much help as he can get. So if you go over and check out his channel, help support him a little bit. But go ahead and tell us about your channel.
Yeah, it's just we live up here in northwestern Pennsylvania, and we just do a lot of outdoorsy stuff, hunting, fishing, trapping.
Yeah, you pretty much just roll with the seasons, right? I mean, you've got something going on all year round between hunting, fishing, and trapping, depending on what's in season, right?
Yeah. So right now we're about to start our turkey tour. We plan on hitting Pennsylvania, heading down to West Virginia, hitting Ohio, and then heading up to New York.
They just posted a catch, clean, and cook video where they were fishing for rainbow trout, and it looked awesome. I really like those videos. I'm actually hoping to maybe collaborate with them and get some fishing videos on our channel here coming up.
Yeah, we'll take you out on the Lake Erie and catch some walleyes.
Do some walleye fishing. That sounds fun. Let me
Yeah.
know in the comments below if you guys want to see some walleye fishing up in Lake Erie. But with that said, let's go ahead and get to splitting. Well, we're running out of daylight. We got 4 rounds left there, and we've got 4 rounds left over here. But there's what all we got stacked up. We got a little pile left here to stack. We'll probably finish this in the morning, but we got, I'd say, at least a half a cord between what's stacked and what's on the ground here. We'll finish this one up in the morning. All right, so it is the next morning, and we ended up leaving the splitter over at Dylan's house last night so he could bust out those last few rounds this morning. If you can listen closely, you might actually be able to hear him running it right now. But before we wrap this video up, I wanted to touch on a couple of things. One, that Titan Attachments ballast box is the ticket for compact ballast and acting as a 2-in-1 trailer mover. Anytime you can adjust your hitch receiver to something hydraulically adjustable up and down, it makes hooking up trailers so much easier. You don't have to worry about hand cranking the trailer up and down to drop it on or off your ball. You just back up, raise your ball up, pick it up, and then on the Eastimate axis we have those drop foot legs on it, so you don't have to crank them. You can just pull the pin, lift it up, and you're good to go. The second thing I wanted to talk about was when we started this channel, you know, we bought this property and we had a hydraulic 25-ton residential log splitter and our Polaris Ranger. And since that time, we've been very fortunate and been able to grow our equipment list. We've got a commercial grade splitter now. We've got the tractor with grapples and all kinds of attachments. And we're just very fortunate and blessed. And I think when you're in those situations where you have equipment or you have means to help out other people, I think you should. Like our neighbor down the street here, Doug, he's got that excavator and skid steer, and he came over one day and was just cleaning up our trails and widening them out so we can get our tractor back in the woods easier. He didn't have to do that, but it makes my life a lot easier. So I'm just trying to pay it forward and make somebody else's life easier. If you guys have the means to do that, I hope you guys will do the same. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.